The Little Genius and the Three Unlikely Friends. The brightest mornings often begin after the darkest nights, and no one in the quiet hillside town of Pine Hollow knew that better than 11-year-old Kiera Morgan. Every sunrise found her carrying a backpack heavier than most adults could lift, filled not only with books but with responsibilities far beyond her age. While other children hurried to school laughing with friends, Kiera quietly walked alone, hiding the loneliness that had slowly become part of her life. She was brilliant, kind, and endlessly curious, yet people often misunderstood her because she was different. They called her strange simply because she loved science more than parties and animals more than gadgets. Little did anyone know that one ordinary morning would change not only her life but the hearts of everyone around her. Before we continue, if you believe kindness deserves a second chance and every lonely heart deserves a friend, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope and subscribe to Single Dad Empire. Your support helps us bring more heartfelt stories that inspire millions. The sun painted golden light across the forest trail as Kiera took her usual shortcut to school. The air smelled of fresh pine and wildflowers, while birds sang melodies that seemed almost magical. It was there, beside a fallen oak tree, that she noticed three frightened animals huddled together. A massive brown bear cub, a gentle black bear cub, and a tiny white bear cub looked exhausted, hungry, and completely lost. They weren't ordinary wild bears. Their eyes reflected fear, innocence, and an unusual intelligence that reminded Kiera of children searching desperately for home. Most people would have run away. Kiera didn't. Instead, she slowly placed her lunchbox on the ground and stepped back. Hunger defeated fear. One by one, the three bears cautiously approached the food. Watching them eat with grateful eyes made something inside Kiera melt. She realized they hadn't eaten properly in days. From that moment forward, an impossible friendship quietly began. Every afternoon after school, Kiera returned to the same clearing carrying sandwiches, fruit, and fresh water. The largest cub, whom she secretly named Bruno, always protected the others before eating. The calm black cub, Shadow, carefully inspected everything first. The smallest white cub, Snow, happily played with butterflies before joining the meal. Days turned into weeks. Their trust grew stronger. Kiera had finally found friends who never judged her. Unknown to her, the bears had escaped from an illegal traveling circus where they had been mistreated since birth. Loud noises terrified them. Chains had left scars on their paws. They had never known what freedom truly felt like until they wandered into Pine Hollow Forest. Keeping such enormous friends hidden became increasingly difficult. The bears adored Kiera so much that they secretly followed her from a distance every day. Sometimes Bruno scared away stray dogs protecting her. Shadow quietly returned books she accidentally dropped. Snow loved leaving tiny white flowers outside her bedroom window each morning before disappearing back into the woods. People in town began whispering. Someone claimed enormous footprints had appeared near the river. Another farmer reported missing apples. Others insisted giant creatures wandered the forest at dawn. Fear spread much faster than truth. Soon the mayor announced that hunters would search the forest before anyone got hurt. When Kiera overheard the news, her heart shattered. She knew the bears weren't dangerous. The real danger came from frightened people making decisions without understanding. That evening heavy rain poured across Pine Hollow. Thunder echoed through the mountains as Kiera rushed into the forest despite the storm. She found Bruno, Shadow, and Snow trembling beneath a rocky cliff, soaked and terrified by the lightning. She hugged each of them without hesitation. At that moment she made herself a promise. She would protect them no matter the cost. The following morning, disaster struck. A young boy named Owen wandered away from his family during a hiking trip. Thick fog covered the forest, making every trail look identical. Search teams spent hours calling his name without success. Panic consumed the town. As darkness approached, hope slowly disappeared. Kiara knew ordinary searching wouldn't be enough. She quietly asked Bruno, Shadow, and Snow for help. Without wasting a second, the three bears began tracking Owen's scent through mud, streams, and dense forests. Bruno's strength cleared blocked paths. Shadow carefully followed tiny footprints invisible to humans. Snow squeezed through narrow caves where adults couldn't enter. Hours later they found Owen trapped beneath a fallen tree near a steep ravine. He was frightened, cold, and unable to move. Working together, Bruno gently lifted the heavy tree while Shadow comforted the crying boy. Snow ran ahead, leading rescuers directly to them. When the search team finally arrived, they couldn't believe what they witnessed. 3 enormous bears weren't attacking the child. They were protecting him. Silence filled the forest. Every rumor, every fear, every misunderstanding. They all disappeared within seconds. The town realized they had nearly hunted innocent creatures who possessed bigger hearts than many humans. News of the rescue spread across Pine Hollow overnight. People who once feared the bears now brought baskets of fruit to the forest's edge. Children painted colorful pictures celebrating friendship. Wildlife experts confirmed the bears deserved protection instead of punishment. For the first time in their lives, Bruno, Shadow, and Snow experienced something completely unfamiliar. Acceptance. Weeks later the forest transformed into a peaceful wildlife sanctuary where animals could live safely without fear. Kiara volunteered there every weekend, teaching visiting children that appearances never reveal someone's true heart. Many parents watched their children laugh beside the bears from safe observation areas, amazed at how fear had transformed into compassion. Kiara also changed. The lonely girl who once walked to school alone now inspired an entire community. Her science projects focused on protecting wildlife. Her classmates admired her courage instead of mocking her differences. Teachers often shared her story with younger students, reminding them that intelligence means little without kindness. One beautiful spring afternoon, hundreds of butterflies floated across the sanctuary while children planted new trees together. Bruno rested peacefully beneath a giant oak. Shadow watched birds build nests. Snow chased butterflies exactly as he had done the very first day Kiara met him. Looking across the bright green valley, Kiara realized something extraordinary. Families aren't always connected by blood. Sometimes they're built through trust, sacrifice, and unconditional love. Sometimes the people, or animals, you least expect become the ones who save your heart. Years later Pine Hollow became famous not because of its mountains or rivers but because visitors traveled from everywhere to witness a community where humans and wildlife learned to coexist with respect. Every child who visited left believing kindness was stronger than fear. Every adult left remembering compassion is a choice made one small act at a time. And every sunrise reminded Kiara of the morning that changed everything forever. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in kindness, leave a comment, and subscribe to Single Dad Empire. Your support allows us to continue creating emotional stories that remind the world that hope is never lost. Sparkling Heart special request: before you go, comment below with one word, kindness, if you believe even the smallest act of compassion can change someone's life forever. The greatest heroes are rarely the strongest, richest, or most famous. They are the ones who choose kindness when fear seems easier, who offer friendship when others walk away, and who believe that every living soul deserves love. In the end, Kiara and her 3 unlikely friends didn't just rescue one lost child, they rescued an entire town from the darkness of misunderstanding, proving that the warmest hearts often come from the most unexpected places.